everyone, welcome to another video. I'm Nora Maka. Today I'm going to film a tag, I think, except for the newbie tag. This is the first tag I'm going to film, so I'm excited. And I'm going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag, although I can't say that I'm freaking out, but I thought it was still a good way to kind of look at how my reading's been going. Probably at the end, after the tag, I'll talk some more about my progress so far. The tag was originally created, well, at least co-created by Ellie from All Grey Books that I have discovered since I started my own channel and that I've been loving. I'll link her channel down below. There are 14 questions, so let's start. The first question is, what is the best book that you've read so far? For me, I think I've now given five-star ratings. And the two that I would now say are my favorites so far are The Franse Antifada by Andrew Hussey, that I've talked about to length in a recent video, so I won't say anything more about it. And when it comes to fiction, I really loved The Toymakers by Robert Disdale. The next question is, the best sequel you've read so far. I've only read 2 sequels this year, and those are The Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi and The Wise Man's Fears by Patrick Rothfuss, and I really liked both of them. I liked the world building in both of these worlds, so that's the main reason I continued reading the series. For this one, the third isn't out yet, but I expect it might come out next year or the year afterwards, and this one... Well, this one was published approximately 10 years ago, so we'll see if the third one ever comes out. Both have some issues, but were still very nice to read. The next question is a new release you haven't read yet but want to. I've picked out 2 for you. The first one is The Mercies by Kieran Millwood Hargrave. I've really been looking forward to reading this. I talked about this in my birthday book haul. And I recently also got Mijn Ontelbare Identiteiten by Sinan Sankaya. I saw Sinan Sankaya talk about this on TV when the book came out a couple of weeks ago, and was immediately intrigued because this is about him coming from many different places. This translates to my innumerous identities. So he's struggling with, at the same time, Turkish background, living in Holland, coming from a worker family, a worker background, but now being highly educated, and what it's like to struggle with all of these identities and cultures and ways of being. So excited for this. The next question is one I won't answer actually. It's the most anticipated release of the second half of the year, and I don't really keep up with anticipated releases, so I don't have an answer for this one. The 5th question is what the biggest disappointment was so far. For that, I chose C'est moi qui éteins les lumières. It's me who turns out the light by Zoya Pirzad. I talked about this in a previous video, and I was expecting so much more from this book. I wanted to learn about what it was like to be Armenian living in Iran, and did not get any of that, and it was just a bit drag and didn't like the characters. 6th question is the biggest surprise. I have 2. One is nonfiction, The Influential Mind by Tali Sharot. I learned so much from this book, but it had already been sitting on my shelves for I think 1.5 years, or 1.5 years, and I was just like not really willing to pick it up. Once I did, it was awesome. And the second one is also another I already talked about. It's The Offing by Benjamin Myers. I did not expect anything from this book. Thought it was just going to be just another meh read, and I was absolutely blown away by it and really felt like I was on holiday with the characters. The next question is one about favorite new authors. Now specified new to you. So one of them is Leo Tolstoy. I've read Anna Karenina from, and I have War and Peace on my TBR, so I'm looking forward to reading that, though I will wait a while before starting. I've also discovered and really liked Samantha Shannon, and I read The Priory of the Orange Tree. She has written a series previously that is called the Bone series, and I'm going to look a bit more into what that series is about, if it's very YA or not, because I am actually looking forward to having, somewhat longer fantasy series, if the world building is as good as in this one, then I might like it. So I have to look into it. If you have read it, tell me. And I've also really liked Robert Disdale, especially with the toy makers, and that's the reason I then read Gingerbread, and I don't know yet what and if I'm going to read from him further. I've realized through this question that I don't look often at authors, actually. I just look at the books themselves and don't see them. I don't react to writing styles, therefore look at authors that much. But it's something I might start doing a bit more. It's a good way to find new books. Not that finding new books is a problem. I have a huge list of things I want to read. The 8th question is your newest fictional crush. I don't really crush on fictional characters, more on TV, because then you see them and you see them moving and the way they look, and I think that works more for me, so no new fictional crushes. New favorite character though, I really liked Id from The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon, and I also really liked Kia from Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. Both of the women that I really liked were very independent and had their own thing going and really stood for their own beliefs, which I really liked. Then we have the question, a book that made you cry. I don't really cry that easily, but one would be Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee, and the second was one that I don't own but I want to own is We Crossed a Bridge and It Trembled by Wendy Perlman. I cried for different reasons. For Pachinko, it was the surprise of some dreadful things happening, and with We Crossed a Bridge and It Trembled, it had more to do with the repetitiveness and the always growing bigger of the pain that people went through. Then we have a book that made you happy. I don't really get that happy from good. I do feel good, but not necessarily happy. So I looked, and I would say the one that fits the description best is Mijn Geliefde Boekhandel by Petra Hartlieb. This translates to My Wonderful Bookshop. It was very endearing the way this family sets up a bookshop and has this love for books, but also for one another and the community. And the offing also really made me very happy because of the atmosphere and the sun and the nature that was in the book. Next we have the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. I have two. One is The Priory of the Orange Tree. I really love this color. I like this yellow a lot. I like the dragon. I like the fact that the dragon continues on the back and the shininess. And I also really love the cover of The Mercies, also with this shiny element. Let me see if I can show you. Yes, the sun is over there. And all of these colors and the flowers, it's so beautiful, and of course that's one of the reasons I'm really looking forward to reading this one and still love having this one on my shelves. The last question is, what books do you need to read before the end of the year? Let me show you. I haven't taken all of them out, but I really want to read all of these. So The Mercies and Mijn ontelbare identiteiten that I talked about, but also De Avond is Ongemak by Marieke Lucas-Reinveld. This one was shortlisted for the International Booker Prize, and I actually would like to read this before the International Booker Prize is announced. I also really want to read Hallo Witte Mensen by Anusha Nzume. This translates to Hello White People, and it's about the experiences of Anusha Nzume in the Netherlands with white people. Then we have The White Tiger by Aravind Adiga. I got this at a second-hand bookshop, and I don't even know what it's about, but I knew that I would like it, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well. Also really looking forward to reading A Winter's Promise, also kind of because of the cover and because I think it's going to be somewhat lighter, and I've been reading a lot of non-fiction lately, so really looking forward to this one. Also got it from a friend. Really looking forward to reading The 13th Tale that I really want to read this year, and I'm probably going to be reading with Pauline from Dancing Lawn. And lastly, but not least, I also really want this year to read Zijn naam en het woord by Margot Dijkgraaf, because I think it'll make me learn more about French authors, and I want to learn more about those. That was all for the questions. I haven't I'm not going to be linking any of these books down below because only the ones that I have in physical copy, they're already 19. I keep pointing at this because this is, wait, I'm going to show you. This is now what my previously well-ordered stack was. Oh wait! The last question is not really book related, it's booktube related, and that is a favorite booktube community member. I have listed 5 I can see. One is one that I've been following for a while now, and that is still a favorite. That is Mercedes from Mercy Bookish Musings. I'm gonna link all of these down below, and the other 4 are ones that I discovered because of joining the booktube community myself, and those are Pauline from Dancing Alone, who has a very calm way of talking about books, and who, like myself, also comes from France but emigrated to another country, which I don't know, always draws me to someone. Then we have Ellie from Earl Grey Books, that is also the co-author of this author, who also has a very calm way of reading. We have very different tastes in books, but somehow it's still entertaining to see what she's been up to. And then we've got the Artisan Geek, who does so much research when she reads a book. I always feel like I should be doing that as well. She gets so much out of books and then is very well and really explains it to us viewers as well. So I've really been enjoying that and hope that at one point I'm going to do more research as well. And the last one is Draw Your Books, who also lives in the Netherlands, and we have a very similar reading taste. So I get a lot of recommendations, which is not necessarily a good thing for me because I don't have time to read that much. So the stack of things that I want to read is just augmenting and augmenting. So if you're interested in any of them, just go check them out and maybe you'll find a new favorite as well. When it comes to general middle of the year updates, I would say my reading has been going really well, although it is due to me having a lot of time, which is not necessarily what I would have wanted. I gave myself the goal at the beginning of the year just to read 52 books because I wanted to give myself time to adapt to a new life, having graduated at the end of December. But I'm now already, I think, nearly at 70, so I'm well above that, and I'm happily continuing reading all these books. I'm really appreciating going through my TBR at the rate that I've been going through it. And I've also been reading a lot more non-fiction. At the beginning of the year, I gave myself the goal of reading 6 non-fiction books, and I'm already well above and beyond that, and I believe now I'm kind of reading 3 non-fiction books at the time, so I actually need to go back to fiction a little bit to even it out. And the other goal I gave myself at the beginning of the year was to reread more books. I wanted to reread 6 because I figured then 1 month I can do non-fiction, 1 month I can reread and then do that again. Until now I've only reread 2 books. Technically I still have, what day is it today? I still have 5 days to reread 1 book, but I'm always more drawn to the books that I haven't read, which is the reason I gave myself that goal. Anyway, that's all for now. How has your reading been going? I really hope that whether you're on track or not on track, you realize that reading is supposed to be fun and you don't have to be on track. You just have to enjoy whatever it is that you are reading or not reading. So with that little piece of nugget, I'll leave you to it. See you in another video. Bye.